Welcome to a full driving review of the updated Mazda CX-3. Exterior, interior and the driving experience here on Autogefühl, your number one resource for in-depth car reviews and your number one community to discuss cars. Thomas in front of the camera and also our Thomas B behind the camera. And we're also going to talk about the differences Mazda CX-3 and the bigger brother the CX-30. Why would be a reason still to go for the CX-3? And also all about the changes we have here today in Full HD, full screen and full length. Let's go! In the front, the Mazda CX-3 still shows a very modern look, and here horizontal fins in the grille. Then here this chrome element leads over cleverly to the headlamps. Base version would still be halogen, then as for the mid-trim, go with LED for the main unit, and then optional, we also see it here, the Matrix LED. Then a big crossover cladding in the lower part, and this color here for today is called Polymetal Gray, newly available also for the CX-3. It's also quite desired already for some other Mazda models, and now again introduced right here, and I think it gives a very unique look to this vehicle. The length is at 4.27 meters, 14 foot or 168 inches, and wheels come either in 16-inch now from standard aluminum or optional with the design package, these here the 18-inch, but there's directly steps 16 or 18. But I think, why not? They also do it for the Mazda 3 and for the CX-30 now in the very same way. Big crossover cladding, not as large as in the new CX-30. So the CX-3 is still a little bit shorter and also with a shorter wheelbase than the new bigger brother CX-30. Here then with the chrome element in the lower part, still a very modern look. And you see here the design element, here the dropping line, actually falls down and then dissolves in this area here, so quite cleverly done here to give a little bit more accentuation here on the front door. But you can see here with the small windows, this is not the best then for the overview from the inside to the outside. Yeah, however, this has always been about the design here for the CX-3. In the rear we can see here a modern tail lamp signature, and then big crossover cladding in the lower area and real exhaust tips here for this naturally aspirated engine. Mazda cleaned up the engine lineup, so it's all about here now the 2-liter 4-cylinder petrol engine, naturally aspirated engine, that's special with Mazda. They have improved the injection system to make it actually cleaner directly from the injection, so they don't need a particle filter also, and also because it doesn't have a turbo, and also new cylinder on demand technology. Here in Europe we only get the 120 horsepower version now and front wheel drive, manual gearbox or automatic. And in US you can still get the 150 horsepower version, also then automatic and all-wheel drive. The new vehicle key now as the same, as with the new models. This is just a sticker here for the press event, but I mean, I wouldn't say that it's a big upgrade. Maybe the older one was even better. What's your take? Then keyless entry works like here. You press it here on this knob, and when you have a middle trim level, also here with the automatic folding of the side mirrors like this, and they fold in and out quite well, so a little bit narrow when parking. Then door closing sound, of course, wait, which is in the front actually quite cool. Just with the handle, the sound of the handle is not that good. Inside, hardback and top part, but then beautiful inside microfiber in gray that really fits also the polymetal gray color on the outside. Not exactly the same gray color, but still a cool, color code. Then here this is not carbon fiber, but it has a look of that. Automatic window lever just for the driver's door. Then some reasonable door inside pockets. Optional Bose sound system. And then here you've got some red accentuations, for example, for the inside air vents. Hardback material also on the top part here. Here as well. Then the steering wheel with a normal master look. Pick up the phone here. Clicking through the information of the gauges on the left. Right side for the cruise control and so on. And then as for the seating, the form has been updated. So the seat form has been updated, so it more follows a natural S of the spine, so more seating comfort indeed, and that works. However, here there's a surface, optional animal skin, but base would be fabric, or you can also get a fabric leatherette mix, which we would recommend, so either pure fabric or the fabric leatherette, because it also gives you softer seating comfort and also stays cool in summer and not that cold in winter as these here. However, as for the seat form, it really has been improved. So you have, although you're not in a big car, you have good seating comfort here in the front. Also good view to the front. Just here the view to the rear is a little bit limited, as I said earlier, because of the small windows. Here we also have electric seats, but the base versions would also come with the manual seats, which are also just fine for a segment, for a car in that segment right here. Steering wheel with a manual control like this, in and out and up and down, so you can really find a good seating position. And with 1m86 or 6'1", subscribers will know that, still leaves enough headroom in the front. Interior overview, again, hardback materials right here, new 7-inch screen with updated infotainment, soon more to that. Then again, look at the compact steering wheel, the head-up display, if you get one. You can see here it pops out on this separate plastic layer. It's not too helpful because the vision then is not too high. It's more like inside and small in the hood. Soon also more deep to that. So again, not too helpful. Then also folds down again. Nice design element here with the round air vents. And my favorite feature is here in this trim here, the microfiber surface here. That looks really premium, like that. And then in the lower part, easy controls with the steering wheel heating and the heated seats. Then manual climate knob. So yeah, it doesn't give you the best feeling when controlling it, but they are large and they're easy to control while driving. And nowadays, that's a really, really good thing to have that. In the lower area to USB-A chargers, but not too much space for your big smartphone. There, the new technology comes into play because Apple CarPlay and Android Auto stand out for this infotainment system, and Apple CarPlay is now also available wireless, just the Apple CarPlay. And then you can put it somewhere else and this area stays a little bit cleaner. So in this case, then the wireless Apple CarPlay will help. 6-speed manual here today. And here in the lower middle console, there's this turning and pressing knob. Nice clicking sound as well, and you control the infotainment system while driving with it. Of course, also in standstill if you like, some hotkeys to easy access something. Volume knob also manual here, then electric handbrake or electric parking brake. Then in this middle part here, this should be a little bit better attached, and you see also the whole middle console shakes a little bit, so a little bit lacking of build quality there. And then these cup holders are very interesting mechanism to fold them out, but then, they are then somewhat adaptive. Instruments rather classic with the big RPM meter, a sporty look really, then the digital speed. And on the right side you have the consumption meter, for example, so everything kept simple. Now deals to the new 7-inch infotainment system. We know this kind of software right here, and when standing still, it also works to use it via touch. Here at the River Rhine today, where we have, I activated the hazard lights. So River Rhine here for you today. And yeah, like this, you can also zoom in and out. But other than that, you can also use the lower control knob than to control things. Zoom in and out, not with pinch and zoom. We have to use the magnifiers right here. Also hotkeys for the main menu is accessible right here. Not too much in this infotainment system, but I mean, you also don't need too much from that actually. Here now on the top part, and the Apple CarPlay with the integration all over the screen, and the optional Bose sound system. Let's test that, and it's actually quite nice for a vehicle in this segment. Of course, you can't expect too much from it, but yeah, it's actually quite clear, so happy with that. Here also the control of the car like this. Other than that, while driving, you do it again with this, lower control knob, which is actually quite okay because the menu structure overall is not too complicated. And newly available is also that there's not only a rear view camera, but also right here, the new 360-degree view in this technology package. The resolution, it's small and the resolution is quite poor, but with the 360 view here, at least you have a little bit better overview. However, to me, the normal rear view camera is actually too small. Here, you can also change the camera image, then you have a little bit bigger, but still the resolution overall should be better meanwhile. And the glove box actually offers, some space, but it's not dampened. A lot of things positive with this vehicle, but one thing I always criticize is that it sounds a little bit weird. When you have the handles and then they snap back. So so a little bit maybe too empty on the inside. I don't know. Some more dampening materials would be good right there. This is, by the way, here to activate the child lock. Right here, there's an easy solution: activate or deactivate it. You can or cannot open the door from the inside. What is really nice is that we also have the microfiber cover here in this higher or middle trim level here at the rear door. This is really cool. Top part is hard pack here, but this is really nicely done. Then you can see here, same styling as for the rear seating area, but this is also one of the problems of this vehicle. Yes, it's a short vehicle, but it does not offer too much leg room. And you will see it right here when I try to get inside. And this is then also the big advantage of the new CX-30, the bigger brother, due to the longer wheelbase. It's actually, more spacious here. It is soft here in the back part, but you see I actually do not fit in here when I'm also driving in the front with 1.86 or 6'1". Headroom-wise, barely fits. That works. But again, legroom, I do hit the seat here with my, with my knees. So that's definitely the limitation. Other than that, the rear bench is actually quite comfortable. So if you're smaller, that does work then. In the middle part, it is somewhat soft. That's okay. But again, just more or less leg problem and then also a head problem. So it's not the car for tall Ls in the rear. Also substantial middle tunnel here. And then you can fold down this and have some cup holders here. They're also a little bit adaptive. Rather work for bigger bottles. That's actually quite okay. Now to the trunk area. Open it right here. It's a manual opening. Here we go, and we have some luggage set up here for you, so you see that works. It's not too high here actually. I can also show you why, because when we put that one here out, then there's another step underneath, so you could go a little bit deeper right there, like this. But this, of course, when you have put this one in, then the loading sill here is not too high, and that's of course then a good thing. And taking some measures here, the trunk length is about 70 centimeters. The height here with the cover in place is about 40 centimeters, and a couple of centimeters more when you would put out the lower one. And then the length here to the front seat, I already folded one part here. This is about 1.35 meters, and then I can also fold down the other half. I have to go around. That's the more practical solution, definitely. So here we go, like this. This is not the best quality right here, so I think they could fix a little bit of that. However, we're not in the most expensive segment, but still, some deals like these could also be solved a little bit better. Welcome to Thomas's Driving Lounge with the updated Mazda CX-3. So we know this engine here from before, but it has been updated. It now has cylinder on demand or cylinder deactivation technology. That means when we do not need the power, 2 of the 4 cylinders are not running. And this can give you some advantages as for the fuel economy, but it won't be the biggest game changer ever that you have a totally different fuel economy than before or so. But surely can't hurt, especially when you're just rolling this vehicle predominantly. 120 horsepower here for the 2-liter 4-cylinder naturally aspirated engine means it's of course not the most powerful car there is. And for Europe, there's only this engine anymore. In the US, you can also still get the 150 horsepower version. That is then better because it gives a little bit more punch. Interesting that they do not need the OPF, the petrol particle filter, because here with the naturally aspirated engine, you don't, create the same kind of, particles that would be with the very small turbo engines. So actually a quite intelligent injection they used in there also has been updated for this model year. Pretty interesting. However, with these naturally aspirated engines, they have a very linear power curve, but when you want some power, you really need to push them. For example, here 60 kilometers to 100 in third gear. Oh, there we go. See, that takes some time. And so sometimes it might then just be clever to just go a gear lower, for example. So this can be helpful, or you just need to turn the RPMs up a little bit more. Or here then, when you want to accelerate out further, just go a gear lower and then you're definitely a little bit sportier right here. We can also drive a little bit faster here, see how this car reacts at faster speeds. So here I'm getting from 100 to 130. So now lane change at higher speeds remains relatively stable, so not shaking up too much. There's just one base suspension available. Here at 130 kilometers an hour, it is getting a little bit noisy, so you see and feel that the car is not laid out to do that. 6th gear now for better fuel economy, and you're still somewhat comfortable at 130 kilometers an hour, but we definitely feel that here the new brother, the CX-30, is definitely calmer, better as for noise insulation at the higher speeds. What you feel with this new chassis that it shares with the Mazda 3, the CX-30, not this one here on the older chassis, and also together with the Mazda 2. So this one based here on the small car, whereas the CX-30 based on the compact car, the Mazda 3. So once again here, it is actually quite fun because the steering that Mazda is using is really cool. It always has a very natural feeling. So that has some kind of a sporty character. It doesn't have any dead zone area, yet at the same time you don't have to steer that much and you really feel connected. You feel connected with the steering wheel, with the car, with the road. So I'm always happy with the steering they use here. And also the manual gearboxes by Mazda are always doing a good job. So they give you some kind of resistance when putting in the gears, yet it's not too hard to put in the gears, and it feels really sporty, Best example is of course the Mazda MX-5, which gives you the sportiest feeling at Mazda, no doubt. But even here with their small SUVs and so on, when you put in the gears, it's really a lot of fun. So it is actually one of the very rare vehicles or rare brands where I say rather take the manual gearbox. Usually I always say take the automatic gearbox, it's just more comfortable. Most of the time it's also sportier and also better in the fuel economy. Here at Mazda it's the other way around. Their automatic gearboxes are actually not that good. So with the automatic gearboxes, you often have really higher fuel consumption with the Mazda vehicles, so you're better off than with the manuals. And also because the manuals they build are so good, they are one of the best on the market as for, the feeling they give you, they convey. So rare case where I say go for the manual gearbox. Here, that's the only choice you have then here for this engine, either the 6-speed manual or the 6-speed auto. Stay with the 6-speed manual, save the money, and also save some fuel. And so what could be a reason to go with the CX-3 still and not with the CX-30? First of all, price. The CX-3 here is still a little bit cheaper. It depends on the offer, the concise offer you get at your dealer. If you can get it for the same price, of course, take the CX-30. But then again, if you save like, significant amount of money, that could be something you could think about. Then again, this one here is a little bit smaller. So sometimes when parking in and out, you could get along a little bit better here in the CX-3. And also, it is actually still a lot of fun to drive, It's a small, agile car. And the Mazda cars, as I said, with the shifting and with the steering setup and so on, are very, natural in the driving characteristics and are a lot of fun. So the CX-3 feels a little bit more agile than the CX-30. However, this new platform of the CX-30 is that the platform, the new platform is better, is stiffer and so on, so that evens the effect out a little bit, with the difference in size. Yeah, but, these could be some arguments, but I think price would be the argument number one, because otherwise you could still, already go for the CX-30 then. The new seating position here, they upgraded here. I feel that's really good improvement. So, the fabric seats or the fabric leatherette mix would be even more comfortable because the softer fabric surface adapts to the body a little bit more than here the more stiffer animal skin seats. However, the seat form they have optimized is really doing a good job. So I feel more comfortable here in the CX-3 facelift, definitely. So told you earlier what they did is it adapts more to the natural S form of the spine and you sit a little bit more upright with your pelvis. So that's a Mazda philosophy they introduced with the all-new Mazda 3 and then implemented also to seating forms of the other models. And I think this is definitely a good improvement. Yeah, also the wireless Apple CarPlay, that you don't have your smartphone in the front flying around because it's in a very narrow area there. So this could also be another thing to maybe pick this one, the facelift one, if you compare it to the older one. But driving, of course, hasn't changed that much. Cylinder on demand, again, could do something. We drove it rather calm now. I resetted it after the, big acceleration, and what you can score is some 6 liters on 100 kilometers. So that's then again like 35 mpg US, 45 mpg UK. I think we can live with that. A small car like this could also consume less. It's nothing special that it's really low and not too high, but maybe also the COD technology brought us some advantage right there. Definitely a very cool city vehicle. One difference, by the way, from the new platform now in the CX-30 here, the turning indicator, it doesn't feel that good actually when you turn it in and out, and doesn't feel that premium. But then there are other premium features like, the nice microfiber covering here at the dashboard, which is really a lot of fun. And you have to think about, we're not in a high price segment. This is still somewhat a budget crossover or budget SUV, and for that it's really doing a good job. To me, the most unique feature of this vehicle is once again the sporty driving characteristics and the natural driving fun it really creates. Definitely when the extra price is not too high for the CX-30, I think we can all agree that meanwhile then you should go for the CX-30. Again, I think it really matters what's the price difference. If you can save substantial money, then you can still go with this one here. It's still a good vehicle, still nice. And also the 120 horsepower is actually fine as long as you don't go like high-speed motorway all the time. But other than that, the CX-30 of course offers more. But then again, that's also the thing. Because the CX-30 offers more and also different engines and so on, it can also easily get more expensive than once again. So if you not only compare the base prices. Here just once again I want to show you some slalom left and right. Here how nice the car is behaving. Suspension is really also a good compromise. Not too sporty, but sporty enough. So overall happy with that. We have the 18-inch wheels mounted. The comfort is still good. If you want a softer, more plush ride, then stick with the base 16-inch wheels. The 18-inch here definitely for a better look and also for some sportier driving. Consumption also, when I accelerate a little bit more, went up a little bit. So when we're more in city traffic, you more tend towards 7 liters per 100 kilometers. That's then barely over 30 mpg US and barely over 40 mpg UK. So something between that 6 and 7 liters on 1 kilometers, or no, 30 something mpg US, 40 something mpg UK. That's definitely a realistic figure. So updated CX3. I hope you enjoyed our driving part here for today. We definitely did. Sun's coming out a little bit more, and we do some more filming for our final conclusion. And now to our conclusion for today with the updated Mazda CX-3. From the exterior, still a likable small crossover, quite modern still in the styling, and in the interior you don't have too much space on the rear, yes. However, in the front, seating is even better now with the comfort because of the seating changes, and will be even better in the fabric or the fabric leatherette mixed seats. Also good that there are some infotainment system upgrades here with the CarPlay and the Android Auto and so on. Driving wise, this is still one of the best things about this vehicle. It's a lot of fun to drive the car, agile, and also the steering setup is good. The manual gearbox, which you should go for, is also really ideal. It doesn't have too much power with that engine. However, you still are just fine. You just have to rev it a little bit more because of the natural aspirated engine, which is also one of the unique selling points of this car. If you now compare it to the new bigger brother, the CX-30, yeah, you know, because of the longer wheelbase, you have more space on the rear, and it's also a very good price-performance ratio. So as for me, it would be when you get a concise offering at the dealer and the extra price to a CX-30 is not too much, you should go for the newer model on the new platform. However, then, if the price difference is quite substantial, you want to save some money and you just want a little shorter vehicle that helps you better when parking in and out, then the CX-3 can still make sense. However, from the overall feeling, you feel, of course, that this one is still the older vehicle and the other one, the bigger brother, is already on the new platform. So I hope to also see you at the review of the CX-30. We have two, actually, I think, meanwhile, of these. We will also link it in the video description and in the pinned comment. And of course, see you in the comment sections here about the updated CX-3. And if you're a Mazda CX-3 owner, please also share your experience. Thank you so much for tuning in today. See you next time.